And welcome back to another episode of the Truck Stop Coffee Cup. I'm your host, good old TR, and let's just jump right into it. And we're just going right off the cup here. I am sorry, I am just terrible at this. I never really know what I'm going to say, and I never have anything planned. So please, I do apologize. But if anybody has any ideas what they'd like to hear me talk about, we sure in the heck can. And it just don't have to do with trucking either. We can talk about why the 350 Chevy engine's so great. We can talk about wrestling and why Scott Hall was never the world's heavyweight champion. We can talk about favorite foods, what you like, what you don't like. Would you like me to try to get an interview with somebody? Any topic you would like, I will definitely, try to address, except for political. I will leave that to everybody else. I have my own views, but I feel this is just not the time nor the place to share them. So other than political views, we can talk about just about anything. But tonight we're here at a rest area, and I just did a video. It's uploading, and I just did a review about this rest area. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sure that you haven't seen it yet, but you need to go see it. Okay. So yeah, it's just I started doing reviews for rest areas, and just like Truck Stop Coffee Cup, YouTube gets them. That's it. My other platforms, Facebook and TikTok, do not get them. YouTube only gets this kind of content. So with that being said, trying to think back of some of these people's comments and everything. Heck yes, I would love to come visit your truck stop that you're telling me about. I can't wait to get there. Lately, I've been doing kind of the same old stuff, the same runs, not been going out very far. But occasionally I do get to go to other states and places. I love doing that. I love doing long haul. I like going to new places. Just things have been really slow right now. In my eyes, have been really slow anyway. Not a whole lot going on, but the company that I work with, they have been keeping me busy, and that's really good. They've been trying. Now, some of the stuff I've been doing, I may not like, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make some money. I understand that. They know how I feel about it, but we're working together. We're bringing in the revenue. We're bringing in the money. It ain't big money, but it's keeping the lights on. It's making, I'm doing my obligations. Oh, well, I'm sorry about the pause there, ladies and gentlemen. I just seen something that I thought just didn't look right with my truck, so I had to go look at it real quick. I think it's just the way the ground's sitting. After looking at another truck nearby, it looked like he was leaning too a little bit. So I'm sure everything is going to be just fine. So on that note, carrying on though, it's just I don't know about anybody else, but and I try to keep my personal life personal, not really air a whole lot of it out on social media. I just think it's a bad idea. It's certain things the world just don't need to see. They just don't need to see it. Don't need to be around it. Nothing. So I hope to goodness it's just the way things are, and my truck is not leaning. If it is, I guess I will figure something out. I always seem to. Kind of like a cat that always lands on its feet. Somehow I always manage. So with that being said, I would like to apologize for my lack of content these days. I've been doing some short, what I call short stuff, or maybe the same runs lately. It's not exactly what I like to do, but it's money, it's revenue that's coming in, and bills are getting paid. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to make that money to have it come in. I'm sure that everybody else is having a hard time too, or others are. So I'm sure that hopefully everybody can understand. I'm hoping this might be my food coming up here. Well, we better stop the video and take a peek. Well, no, that wasn't my food coming, though. It's where I'm at. I have Uber Eats coming. If they can find anybody to deliver it here. So that might have been a mistake. Uber Eats, I think, is a little pricey, a little costly. But then again, they are providing you a service too, so, you know, how much can you really complain? Things have gotten a little bit tough, you know, these days. Actually, I've started to cook out of my truck a little bit, which I absolutely hate doing. Absolutely hate it. I like to get out of my truck, sit down, maybe read on my phone a little bit. Read the Wall Street Journal, the news, or I will pick a topic and just try to do a little bit of reading while I eat, just to forget about for a minute or two that I, drive a truck and just get away from everything. Believe it or not, in my eyes, it does help your mood. It can turn a bad day into an okay day, or an okay into a great day. Now you may ask on how I do that. It's tough sometimes for me to do, depending on what you have going on and what you're doing. Other times, which I like the long haul, is that I do like a 2 and an 8 split. Because me personally, I just can't sit in there for 10 hours and sleep for 10 hours straight. I can't do it. So what works really good for me is, myself anyway, is that, and I do it about the middle of the day, I try to anyway, which works out really great. If you do it around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you find yourself a sit-down restaurant, even if it is a Denny's. The waitress usually ain't as busy, so you get better customer service and faster service. So I like that. Also, if you're at a truck stop, you can also get a shower in too. Usually there's not a whole lot of wait for the showers. Well, it used to work that way, but I'm slowly finding out that it just doesn't matter. It's getting tougher and tougher to get a shower, because I don't want to wait 3 or 4 hours to get a shower either at night. And sometimes I park at truck stops at night, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's shippers, receivers, sometimes it's rest areas. Sometimes even it's, which some people, say, no, you can't do that, or shouldn't do that, or blah, 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 or I should have trip planned better. Just off on the side of the road, I do a get on ramp, not the get off side. Get on side, traffic's moving slower. It's just better off, just safer. Speaking of safety, so let's talk about, somebody gets a flat tire. Now, if you have super singles, I'm sorry, but you're just screwed. You're up a creek. So you got to do what you got to do. Now, if you have duals like I do and everything, now here's where common sense kicks in. But then again, these days, I suggest that people go out and buy it, because a lot of people just don't seem to have it no more. But anyway, as I was saying though, so that's where you want to try to find a good, safe place to pull off and inspect your damage. So try, make it to a get off ramp. I do, and I hate doing this. I don't sleep there, but a get off ramp is about perfect. And there's a couple reasons why for that. The get off ramp right there, you're away from a lot of people, a lot of traffic, so you can safely see what's going on and assess the situation. So okay, so now you assess the situation and you start, looking at where can I go and get this sumbitch fixed. The reason why you use a get off ramp, not the get on ramp, is because you might need to turn left or right. You can't do that if you already went on the on the get on side. So then you're screwed. Then you got to chug it down the road, try to find a place to turn around and come back. Nah, screw that. That's why you do the get off ramp there. You make your phone calls, do what you got to do. Be a big boy or girl. Make some decisions, get it fixed. You don't need to always have your dispatcher hold your hand. So that's why I do things the way I do. And sometimes you might have to go a couple miles. That's fine. Just throw on your 4 ways, do what you got to do. Don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. Get where you need to be, but get it there safely. Say if you got a problem and the nearest town ain't till like 30 miles away, but there's a rest area 5 miles up. Just get to that rest area if you feel like you got to do a road call. It'll be fine. And welcome back to another truck stop review, where I will rate or berate your truck stop. I'm your host, good old TR, and tonight we're going to do a rest area here at mile marker 100 I-35 in Iowa. Now, for those that want to see my review about this rest area, please follow me to the YouTube channel, and you will get to see and hear me talk about this fine place. So on that note, take care of yourselves and each other. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my food did arrive. It was a little cold, but it is good still. Read the Wall Street Journal a little bit. Read something about the recession that isn't here yet, but sometimes I think that we're already feeling it and nobody just wants to acknowledge it. But anyway, moving along after that. Well, it is getting late. My batteries are running low, so I think I'm going to call it a night. I hope you all did enjoy this segment. Please comment whether you like this or not, and what you'd like to see or hear me talk about. So on that note, please be kind and courteous to your janitors. They are people too, doing a job that I wouldn't want to go do. So on that note, as in the words of the great Jerry Springer, take care of yourselves and each other.